Hey, what's up everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so here's the deal. Came all the way to Staples Center to let everybody know we are not ducking smoke. The Los Angeles Lakers will be playing their best tonight. We're not doing anything weird in regards to trying to get away from Denver by losing the Pelican game or anything like that. Now, if we happen to lose the game, we find ourselves in a situation where we can look at it and say it's a consolation prize that we avoid Denver. I'm willing to do that. But as far as me being of the mindset that we need to duck smoke, nah, I'm not ducking any smoke. None of these guys duck smoke. That guy never ducked smoke. I don't understand why we would otherwise go away from what it is that we are as a team just so we can avoid a certain team, when the team that we would have to see in avoiding that team we've also had trouble with, the Sacramento or Golden State. You'd be in a one-and-done situation trying to fight against either one of them, not the move. I'm telling you guys right now, if the Lakers are serious about being a playoff team, you're not ducking smoke. You're not putting yourself in any position for anyone to say, well, if they would have played them, they would have gotten beaten, so we don't want no asterisks next to our championships or anything that we are trying to accomplish. It's bad enough we got that attached to our championship in the bubble. So I'm telling y'all right now, no smoke ducking. No smoke ducking. Whoever came up with that idea, I respect their position and their strategy, but it's a bad look for our team to play poorly on purpose, to take those habits into the next series, and you find yourself in a situation where you're probably not playing your best because of it. You would much rather be going into playoff series having felt good about winning games rather than just backing our way into the best strategy possible. Not to mention that the Denver Nuggets have just as much to worry about as we do. Let's just be honest. They have just as much to worry about as we do. Why? Because the Denver Nuggets are a team to where if one or two of their players go down, suddenly they're not a playoff team. Suddenly they can't beat us if Jokic goes down. Suddenly they don't look as good if Porter goes down. Suddenly you're looking at Murray and saying if he goes down, all hell breaks loose. You do not want to be in an all hell breaks loose situation. You don't. Now I'm telling the Los Angeles Lakers from a place of great peace and great happiness and great joy and great respect. Do not underestimate your opponent. Don't underestimate the New Orleans Pelicans tonight. Just because you last beat them does not mean that you are going to waltz in here and beat them. And if you do lose this game, it's going to be a lot of people who said you did it on purpose. Don't let it happen. I encourage everybody to check out the video that I made this morning previewing that game. I already predicted a few days ago that the Lakers would win this game, and I hope I'm right. I genuinely hope I'm right. But as far as everything is concerned, if we come in and play the way we're supposed to play, I think we'll get similar results to what it is that we received in the last one. We beat the Pelicans rather easily, 50 points in their paint in the first half, held Zion to 12. I don't expect for him to play that poorly again. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't have similar results if we do what we're supposed to do. Hopefully Anthony Davis is 100% healthy, understanding that the back is a thing. He did get pushed in the back by Larry Nance in the last game, so that could be an issue. But you do not expect for him to miss this basketball game, so I'm very confident that we will win it if he's 100% motivated and playing his best ball. Now, to be honest with everybody, man, I don't really want to play Denver either. I'm not going to sit up here and cap like I'm just excited about that. I think my ego is, but the fact that our team has not fared well against these type of challenges just makes me understand that I have to have a different mentality as it pertains to standing behind these players. And we talked about that in a rant very recently. We as fans could have all the gall in the world, have all the belief in the world, and all of these different confidence builders in our hearts. But at the end of the day, if the team itself does not have that, then avoiding certain teams like Denver, Sacramento, and Golden State are the best path forward for them. So need us not be confused just because we're fans and we want to say it's us does not mean that we're on the team. And your ego and your intestinal fortitude is not going to make them play better or worse. So we need to be honest about that. But at the same time, strategy means that you're trying to give yourself the best opportunity to win. And if the team you're ducking that you don't want to play 4 times forces you into a position to play against a team that you don't want to even play once because you can't beat them in Sacramento, then your strategy has been for naught. So that's what I'm saying to all of you guys. I don't want my strategy to be for naught. I want to respect the situation at hand. And the situation at hand is this. The Los Angeles Lakers have 2 games to play. One against the Pelicans. If they win, they don't have to play that second game. We can go on to the playoffs. If we lose against the Pelicans, we'll go on to play the winner of Golden State Sacramento, and you better hope it's Golden State. But honestly, I don't care who wins that game because I want to win this one. And let them deal with one another and let them deal with the Pelicans. That's what I want to see happen there. Let that team deal with the damn Pelicans. So that's really what I'm saying to you guys, man. No duck and smoke. We're not fearful of these teams. We understand that our unit may not necessarily be able to strategize properly against Denver, but I would much rather go up against Denver 4 games in the playoffs than go up against Sacramento 1 game in a play-in tournament situation. And that is exactly what you're risking if you tank this basketball game trying to force your way into a situation where you get the Oklahoma City Thunder in the first round. It just doesn't look like a good situation. In fact, it looks like a very bad one. So that's what I'm saying to all of you guys, man. Respect the situation. The team has played many games this season. Too hard to find themselves in a situation where they're duck and smoke, tanking basketball games, running from people, and all different types of other malarkey. We don't need none of those problems. None of that attached to our name. None of that cowardice attached to how we approach these playoffs. You may not get to avoid Denver anyway. Because if you take the path that is easiest for you, Denver may still be on the other end. And you may be more worn down. You know what I mean? It's a lot of different things that could go wrong there. A long playoff series, you'd rather get the most difficult opponent out the way early, which could propel you to having more confidence that you can beat anybody after that. Which is what I think could be possible if the Lakers beat the Denver Nuggets in the first round. We'll be so confident, and we'll have had to play at such a high level to beat the Denver Nuggets. In theory, we should probably be able to strategize our way into a championship from there, or at least to the finals to meet up with Boston. So that's what I'm saying to you guys, man. The Western Conference doesn't scare me. We only have a couple teams that we shouldn't want to face. Unfortunately, one way or another, you're going to face one of those teams. That's really what it comes down to. So if the team is serious about winning, and I think they are, they're going to take the opportunity in front of them with this good matchup against the Pelicans. They're going to play their hardest and hope for the best and win the game. And then from there, they're going to go on and strategize against the Denver Nuggets with rest attached to their name. Because that's ultimately what they'll have if they win the game. Rest. Because the series I don't expect will start before Saturday or Sunday. But if we lose this game and then we got to play the Sacramento Kings or the Golden State Warriors, you only have one game in between the playoffs and the play-in tournament game that you play. And that's assuming you win the game. So that's, or you're going to have all the rest in the world if you lose that game. So that's what I'm telling y'all, man. We don't want to be in that situation. That's why we wanted the 8th seed so bad. It ain't within our control that the Denver Nuggets couldn't beat Wemby and ultimately found themselves with the number 2 overall seed. They didn't handle their business. That's all that was. They didn't handle their business. If they would have, they wouldn't be faced with a situation where if they run into the Oklahoma City Thunder somehow, they don't have home court advantage. You understand what I'm saying? We don't duck them. Maybe they want to see us. Okay. What they're not counting on is us wanting to see them. Because all of our fan base, or a lot of our talking heads, are talking about avoiding them on purpose. I don't know what type of mental edge you think you're going to have if you're ducking people. I don't know what type of confidence you think you're going to have against a team that you're afraid of. But obviously, you got to get that fear out of your heart and turn that into strategy and turn that into willfulness that will ultimately beat the team. And that's for the unit. That's not for us. That's for those 15 guys out there in that coaching staff. You got to win the game tonight. and buy yourself that rest, and then go up against that team that calls themselves a Laker daddy, man. They call themselves a Laker daddy. And you ducking them is just proving that they are right and that they ain't going to be able to, they're not going to lose to you. That's what you're essentially saying to them. That you would much rather avoid them than play your best basketball and seeing how it fares against them this season in the playoffs. And they didn't beat us bad enough. I'm sorry, they didn't beat us bad enough for us to be this fearful. They really didn't. They didn't beat us bad enough for us to be this scared of them. They didn't earn that. They may have won a bunch of close games, but they did not blow us out every time they saw us to the point where it's just like, yo, our strategy doesn't work. They got Shaq. Like, that ain't what's going on over there. We've been playing close games against this team. Do we have some disadvantages? Yes. But do they have a few that we aren't giving enough credence to? Absolutely. So that's what I'm saying, man. Let's just face this team. And if we get ousted in the first round, I mean, that's just what it is when you go up against a team that's better than you and you can't beat them. You get ousted in the first round. It is a big deal, but it's a much bigger deal trying to avoid them only to get ousted in the play-in tournament. That's worse. A lot worse. So that's what I'm saying to you guys, man. Came all the way to Staples Center to say these words, man. We are not ducking smoke. We're serious about beating the Pelicans tonight. We're serious about facing the Denver Nuggets, whether we match up well against them or not, whether the fan base is afraid of them or not, or however it goes. We're not ducking no smoke. You get the best out the way first, and either you can live up to what it is that's necessary to win a championship or you can't. But don't expect that just because you avoid Denver that you won't have to see Denver later. Because chances are if you don't beat them, no one else will. And that's the point. Make them face you. Make them prove that they are the Laker daddy once again. If that's who they are and if we're that easy of an opponent, make them prove it. Put the pressure on them by playing better than you did last time and force them into that identity if that's who they want to claim themselves to be in. But we ain't ducking them. They don't have the mental edge to the point where we're supposed to be losing games so we don't face them. We're not getting beat bad enough for that to be the case. They've won close games. Those games can go a lot of different ways. Respect that. Make them respect you. My name is BDL44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.